come here sometimes just to be quiet, to think about Lauren.
A place for healing, a place to honor and remember.
We came here and found it just dug out of the ground and gone.
A box for donations at the Columbine Memorial, gone. And tonight, the search is on for the person who stole it.
My feet burn at night. I've got leg twitches.
Lingering COVID symptoms.
Well, I don't feel I really have a life because it's work and then rest.
They're called COVID long haulers.
It feels like my organs are cooking inside my body.
A Colorado man is one of them, still experiencing the aches and pains of COVID more than 8 months later. And tonight he is sharing more about his agony.
She's a victim of a hit and run.
Makes me so angry and upset.
Tonight, our Denver7 Gives community is making sure this Colorado veteran gets much needed support on her road to recovery.
And we start tonight with breaking news from our state capitol and a push from the governor to help struggling businesses and hardworking families. Sources inside the state capitol are telling Denver7 the governor plans to call a special session to talk COVID-19 relief.
In a joint statement from the governor and House and Senate Democratic leaders, they write, Coloradans continue to wait for Congress to act, but we are committed to doing what we can as a state. That's the end of the quote, and we expect to learn more tomorrow.
And Republican state lawmaker Patrick Neville is taking to Twitter in frustration, writing, let me get this straight. Polis says you can't have Thanksgiving, but he can call 100 legislators from 100 different families together. Now, the legislature's regular session is slated to start the second week of January, and according to our partners at the Denver Post, there's also the possibility of adding a new level to the state's dial, something that would sit in between the orange zone and the red stay-at-home zone. We have reached out to state health leaders for more information. We're still waiting to hear back.
A sacred place for so many of us, desecrated just for pathetic, petty thievery.
The donation box at the Columbine Memorial in Clement Park was recently stolen. Denver7's Eddie Guajardo shows us why every donation is needed.
Tucked away just behind Columbine High School, a memorial pays tribute to the lives lost in a senseless act of violence in April of 1999.
You can remember your loved one. You can think about what's happened since Columbine.
Richard Townsend does just that. As the president of the Columbine Memorial Foundation, he maintains the grounds and looks after every name engraved in the Ring of Remembrance.
It's my daughter Lauren here.
Lauren was 18, a senior and valedictorian, full of wisdom.
She says, I'm not afraid of death, for it is only a transition. For in the end, all there is love.
People of all walks of life come here to reflect and show respect.
Well, we had a donor's box sitting right here.
But little respect was shown over the weekend.
We came here and found it just dug out of the ground and gone.
Each donation is used to maintain the memorial.
We just have got these lights in, and one of them is having a problem here right now. We're in the middle of a project to replace trees here.
An annual expense estimated at $15,000. Richard believes the theft happened between Friday, November 13th and Sunday, November 15th.
When something like that happens at a place like this, it takes away a little bit of respect you have for mankind.
The donation box was donated, an estimated cost of $900 to replace what was inside.
Probably was $100.
The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they don't have leads. Donations are down, and times are tough. It's times like these Richard thinks of Lauren.
She had a lot of hopes.
And now he hopes the community can come together and show love and support.
If we could raise $10,000, that would be wonderful.
Addie Guajardo, Denver7.
And if you would like to donate to help replace the donation box and maintain the Columbine Memorial, head over to thedenverchannel.com. We have the full story and a link where you can donate.
There is still so much we don't know about COVID-19, including why some patients have symptoms long after the virus has left their bodies.
They're called COVID long haulers. And Denver7 Sloan Dickey spoke to one man who says he's been battling symptoms for more than 8 months.
I keep thinking tomorrow it'll be better, or next week it'll be better.
Ty Godwin struggles with symptoms of COVID-19.
I've got consistent symptoms every day.
In peak physical condition before his infection, he thought at the beginning his symptoms would be manageable.
Flu symptoms, brain fog is a real thing. Body aches, crazy neurological symptoms.
he was wrong.
You know, what most people would take as a sick day, I've had that every day for 10 months.
He's been struggling since January.
The last time I went for a run was in May. It was 2 miles, and I just realized then I can't run. I can't run a mile. I was hitting 100-degree temperature every day for 105 days.
He's one of thousands of patients who doctors call COVID long haulers. Symptoms persist for months after their infections.
That certainly seems to be a phenomenon where we're seeing previously fairly healthy people with persistent symptoms after either confirmed or sometimes presumptive COVID infections.
Doctors at the respiratory post-COVID clinic at National Jewish Hospital in Denver have been studying the long-term symptoms.
It's still really infantile if you think about a disease of which there is, less than a year's worth of knowledge about.
We need to get this under control now.
Unlike other infectious diseases, doctors have no data on COVID-19 before the outbreak in early 2020.
We have 9 months worth of data. There's a lot that's unknown. And of course, the initial and still the overwhelming focus is on severe illness. How do you keep people alive?
What they do know is that, according to the CDC, roughly 35% of coronavirus outpatients have symptoms that persist beyond 2 weeks, even after the virus goes away.
I've had, at least 4 EKGs, at least 4 CT scans, a full body PET scan, and medically they can't, there's nothing wrong with any part of my body.
For patients like Ty, the most frustrating part of his COVID long haul,
it's been an endless journey of blood work,
is that it might not end anytime soon.
No pill or medicine that I can take for what I've got right now.
Sloan Dickey, Denver7.
So frustrating. All right, a little bit of good news tonight. Just 1 week after Pfizer announced its vaccine had a 90% efficacy rate, a second company is reporting promising results for a COVID-19 vaccine. Moderna says its vaccine trials have shown to be 94.5% effective. Both Moderna and Pfizer have asked for emergency use authorization from the FDA, and that would allow them to start distributing the vaccine even as some people continue in trials. An important distinction between these two vaccines: Moderna's could be stored at just regular refrigeration temperatures, unlike Pfizer's, which requires super cold storage. So that means Moderna's could be easier to distribute. There's more, though, researchers are looking for.
All the data we have so far are on the short-term safety and efficacy, and we still need to collect data to evaluate the long-term safety and efficacy. Sometimes there are side effects from vaccines that might not be apparent for months.
Researchers will also monitor whether the vaccine's effectiveness decreases over time and requires a booster shot.
And a look at the numbers to start the week. More than 4,000 cases added to our count today. Our state total is nearing 168,000. Tonight, there are more than 1,400 hospital beds in use. 44% of adult critical care ventilators are in use tonight. Nationwide, all 50 states are battling a surge in cases. The U.S. is now averaging about 145,000 new infections a day. More than 11 million people have been infected. More than 247,000 have died. New Jersey has implemented new restrictions for indoor gatherings. New Mexico is now entering a 2-week statewide lockdown as hospitals there become overwhelmed. Right now, nearly 70,000 people are hospitalized with the virus in the U.S., surpassing records set back in April.
Aurora police tonight are searching for a driver they say shot and killed another driver in a possible act of road rage. It happened today near Yale and Buckley. Police say they have identified a person of interest. They are asking anybody who might know or have seen anything to call Crime Stoppers. The victim has not yet been identified.
Colorado election officials just wrapped up their audit on our election to make sure nothing went wrong. They audit 3 statewide races and at least 1 race per county to check the tabulation machines. And the audit just wrapped up in the last 2 hours. And for the first time, the entire process was live streamed on Facebook for transparency. The Secretary of State's office has until the end of the month to certify Colorado's election results.
Well, more steps are being taken to rename Columbus Park in Denver to La Raza Park. Tonight, the Denver Parks and Rec Advisory Board approved the plan. For 50 years, many Denverites informally called the park La Raza Park, and over the years, it became a focal point of Denver's Chicano movement. The councilwoman, Amanda Sandoval, is leading the change charged to change the name. She says Columbus does not represent this community. The plan now heads to full city council for a final vote.
And the city of Aurora tonight unanimously voted to temporarily cap delivery fees for companies like Uber Eats and Grubhub. The 15% fee cap will go into effect in 30 days and remain in place through the end of March. Some delivery service fees can be as high as 30%. Last month, Denver put a 15% cap on those charges. Broomfield has done the same.
I can't let their negative, selfish actions affect my life.
Months after getting hit by a car, the driver still hasn't been caught, and this Colorado veteran is left with unexpected medical bills.
I feel like the universe has its way of working out.
So many of you saw her story, and your kindness is helping her get back on her feet.
Whoever you are, I appreciate it so much. You have no idea.
Mild and dry today, even warmer weather is on the way.